Welcome back. It's the Kovacs Report. It's time for DC previews. I'm very excited to go through the catalogue. These are books that are being solicited now, which are coming out in April. So we'll be on the stands in a few months' time. We're going to go through the whole thing. There will be spoilers, so watch out. Like it if you can. Hit subscribe too. I'm going to go through what's on my pull list, what I think of some of these books, have a little fun along the way. Let's just hope. Now, we're kicking off with a beautiful cover here. A beautiful cover. We have a new book, Wonder Woman, Batman, Wonder Woman, Truth. All stars Jeff Loeb and Jim Cheung team up for a classic caper starring Batman and Wonder Woman. Well, I'm looking forward to that being excruciatingly late every month. I mean, we haven't even had the rest of the Batman run. That is now, I guess, what, 6 months, 7 months, 8 months, 9 months late? I don't know. The new volume with an issue number 1 is already a number of issues in, and we still haven't had the end of the previous run. So as much as I'm excited, I'm not holding my breath for April. So let's kick this off. Yes, All In Act 2 has begun. I've made a video about it, showcasing what's coming. You could check that out as well. So here we go. Zatanna number 1. Yes, I love Zatanna. I love her. So superstar Jamal Campbell takes Zatanna's magic to the next level. He's done a run previous to this, which is pretty good. Has good bits and its bad bits. But I'm excited for this. She's one of my favorite characters. I think often underutilized as well. So it's always good to see Zatanna. So what is it all about? Zatanna Zatara embarks on her greatest tour yet. As the newest and first Prime Magus in millennia, it is now Zatanna's sworn responsibility to oversee and guide the world of magic. All eyes are on her. How will she accomplish this grand task? How will she shoulder this heaviest of responsibilities? How will she confront the horrors waiting in forgotten histories? With a wink, a flourish, and a whole lot of magic. Great. We're on board for that. And the costume designs look pretty cool. Let's be honest, they do look pretty cool. Prime Magnus. So she's getting a new costume as the Prime Magnus and a whole bunch of variant covers, of course. I see an Adam Hughes cover somewhere there as well. It looks cool. So I'm excited by this. We're starting off good with DC. 1 for 1. I mean, look at that cover. It's beautiful. Stunning. I'm going to read that to death. So Firestorm returns, a character that I've not had much interaction with him, but judging by the art alone, I'm very, very interested. So the Nuclear Man goes the next level with Jeff Lemire and Rafael de la Torre. Now, Jeff Lemire, I quite like his writing, so I'm even more excited. What's it all about? So the community of Bedford, Colorado is a sleepy small town. The people say hello to their neighbors, attend town hall meetings, and root for the local high school football team on Friday nights. But this idyllic small town is thrown upside down when the Nuclear Man arrives and starts experimenting. Oh, Firestorm has turned buildings to sand and people to glass with no remorse and no warning. Okay. But what exactly provoked Ronnie Raymond to commit this heinous act? And can anyone contain the fury that is Firestorm? Brought to you by the incredible team with Jeff Lemire and Rafael La Torre. Comes the next epic in the new level line. Do you know what? I was like, okay, Firestorm. But now I've seen this and read what it's about and look at this gorgeous art. I'm actually super excited. 2 for 2, DC. 3 for 3. We got Batwoman's back. Yes. So the first issue of this by Greg Rucka, who's returning to this character after many years to sort of finish and write the story he was never allowed to sort of finish during his sort of first foray with Batwoman years and years ago. So I'm very, very excited. We're going to be reviewing that absolutely 100%. And again, another number 1, which is coming out I think in February, is Deathstroke the Terminator. Again, I've covered this in previous videos. Tony Fleeks, who's doing some great work with Feral, with art by Carmine Di Gian Domenico. So the art is beautiful. The writer's good. The character's interesting. DC are really, really knocking it out of the park at the moment. If you compare this video to my Marvel video, you'll just see how different, night and day, the quality of books that are coming from DC compared to Marvel, which is my love, for over 40 years. Again, Lobo's back as well. So another number 1 we'll be reviewing in February. Scotty Young and Jorge Corona. So again, great creative teams, interesting characters, a beautiful art. We are on board. Not going to read the solicit. I don't want to spoil it just yet because we've not had issue number 1. But I mean, there's This DC are really, really, really doing it for me this year. And again, Jeff Loeb. Now, listen, I'm going to say something controversial about Jeff Loeb. Jeff Loeb is actually one of the nicest men in comics. A very, very good friend of mine who's an artist for DC and Marvel for the last 30 odd years. He's very good friends with him, and he always has great, great stories to tell about how lovely Jeff is. But Jeff hasn't been pumping out the quality that we have been used to recently. So I'm severely hoping that this book is going to get me back into the Jeff Loeb, love squad, because great characters, great art. I mean, Jim Cheung is doing the art. Variant covers by Jim Lee. Oh, see, this is a bit of a thing. When we started off here, I sort of had a little mini rant about Jim Lee working on this. But he's just doing covers. Okay, all is forgiven. All is forgiven. Let's go back. But look at the art. It looks gorgeous. The coloring's nice. What's it all about? Well, Batman and Wonder Woman team up for a classic caper, brought to you by superstar talent writer Jeff Loeb. Batman, Superman, Batman, of course, and artist Jim Cheung. The lasso of truth has been stolen, and the Cape Crusader and Amazon Princess race to ensure a safe return, but it falls into the wrong hands. You won't want to miss the aftermath of Batman Hush. So I retract my statement about books being late, featuring the devious duo foolish enough to steal from Wonder Woman, the Joker and Harley Quinn. So premise, brilliant. Art, brilliant. Very much looking forward to it. But this is supposed to spiral out of Hush, and we still haven't had the rest of Hush 2. What's going on? What is going on? Yes, on board. So far, every single book I'm up for. Again, Absolute Batman by Scott Snyder, Nick Dragar. Absolute Superman, my favourite out of this whole Absolute line so far, with art by Rafa Sandoval. Absolutely love this Absolute Superman book. Wow, again, character I've never been interested in. I've read some Superman, over the last 40 odd years of reading comics. Of course, I'm a comic book reader, but I've never loved the guy. But this book, wow, honestly, it had me emotional at times, and that's rare for a book nowadays. Absolute Batman just continues to be, well, there's no other term for it, batshit crazy. It is insane. It is just so out there, and that's the whole point of it. And once I came around to that kind of thinking, I'm actually really enjoying it. It is entertaining, and I guess that's what you want from comics, and these books are doing so much for DC. This is what Marvel thought their new Ultimate line was going to do, and it failed. No matter what they say about it, it failed in comparison to this. And this is interesting. Now, not all of the books in the Absolute line are great, in my humble opinion, but that's just Coke and Pepsi, right? But these three, this sort of trinity of books, are just smashing it. They're absolutely smashing. Now, speaking of the books I don't really enjoy, Absolute Martian Manhunter. Love the concept. I think the art is beautiful, but the story, again, it's just Dennis Camp. Okay, Green Lantern, The Flash. I didn't love the stories. I love Jeff Lemire, but Absolute Flash I just couldn't get into, but I am giving it a second go. As for Al Ewing, I just never love his writing. I tried so hard to like Absolute Green Lantern, but it didn't float my boat. Now, Kelly Thompson, Hayden Sherman continue with Absolute Wonder Woman. Like I said, it's really, really good. There's sort of a couple of moments where I think the arcs dip a little bit, but on the whole, it's been really, really good, like really good. And Hayden Sherman's work on that book, people that are detracting from his artwork, they don't know what they're talking about. The art looks lovely. Moving on, Batman #8, Matt Fraction, with art by Ryan Sook, who is one of my favorites from the old days. They are on this book. It's been good so far. I think what it is doing is losing a little bit of steam. So we need to get just some big story, some real big, dark story before it sort of, fizzles out a little bit. But on the whole, it's been great. Much better than the previous run that came before it. That absolutely sucked balls. But this has been great. The art's been gorgeous. So no complaints. Nightwing, Dan Waters. Again, not enjoying it, so that's off the pull list. Same with Catwoman. I wish it wasn't, because I love Catwoman and I love Nightwing. I just want their books to be amazing, much like Batgirl 18. Now, Tank Brumble is a good writer, he's a very good indie writer, but his Batgirl isn't floating my boat. But I am going to give it a second chance. Every book deserves a second chance. So far from DC, we're looking pretty good. Superman. Like I said earlier, not a big fan of Superman. I tried to read Superman, and it was Superman, but when you're not engaged with a character, you don't kind of get that enjoyment they think you're going to get. So not saying it's a bad book, it's just not for me. Dan Slott's Superman Limited was way too sort of retro feel to it for me to enjoy. Supergirl 12, not for me. It's not. I'm not the target audience there. But from what I've read of it, it's perfect for that target audience. You'll really enjoy it if that's your kind of thing. Action Comics Mark Waid. Again, I can't get into it. I tried. It just didn't happen. Same with Justice League Unlimited. But we've got a new Justice League here. Okay, what do we got here? Justice League Intergalactic Special by Jadzia Axelrod and Nicole Maines. Okay, let's see what this is about. It says the planet Naltor and the Green Lanterns that protect it fall under the spell of the wretched Witch Queen, who harnesses the planet's dream energy in hopes of taking over all that lies beyond. Okay, it's going to be one of these books. We all know this is not going to be great, right? But have no fear. Star Sapphire's assembled a team of Justice Leaguers will no doubt liberate them all. Okay. This is definitely not for me. Will we read it? Probably. Will we review it? I don't know. But I'm pretty sure it's not a book for me. Moving on swiftly. Detective Comics, Tom Taylor. Yes, this has been great. Pretty much, in my opinion, the best book out there at the moment. It is absolutely first class. He's had a couple of issues which dip slightly, a little bit slightly, but on the whole, absolutely fucking brilliant. I'm really, really enjoying it. Tom Taylor is one of my favorite writers. I mentioned Nightwing earlier. His run, I loved. His run on Laura Kinney, X-23, I loved. I just love his work. There's something about it. It just speaks to me. Now, Wonder Woman, Tom King, this gets so much flack. A lot of flack, and then so much praise at the same time. I've just started reading it. I want to see what all the fuss is about, because I like Wonder Woman, as a character, and Daniel Sampere's art is lovely. So what's not to like? Now, I know Tom King himself is a bit of a controversy too, but I'm trying to avoid that at the moment. I don't want it to sort of cloud what I'm reading. I want to find out what all the fuss is about Wonder Woman. Now, if you've been reading this, let me know. I hear it's a bit prophetic about what's going on as well at the moment. There's a lot of things in there that have been happening, that are happening in the real world. So I'm going into it understanding that, because I'm not big on overly political comics. I like comics that have politics. I like comics that don't. I just don't want all of my comics to have politics, right? You've got to have a little bit of escapism, right? So fingers crossed that's going to be good. Harley Quinn, again, that's another book I'm trying to give a second chance. It hasn't been the same since Palmiotti and Connor, left the book. That for me was absolute peak Harley Quinn. Poison Ivy, G. Willow Wilson doesn't float my boat. I did try the latest issue where she just walks into is it Gotham? I think it's Gotham, just wants to be mayor. It was awful. It was really awful. There's this scene in the sort of mayor's office. Who's I forget the mayor's name again. Vandal Savage, right? And it's just so cheesy, badly written. So Harley and Ivy, Life and Crimes, not for me, and it isn't written for me. So I tried the first issue, I couldn't get into it. Adventure of Superman Book of Bells, I think that's ending soon. Philip Kelly Johnson, I think, is going Marvel exclusive. And I tell you what, he deserves it. I can't praise his Hulk enough. It is generationally one of the best Hulk runs I've ever read. And Nick Klein's art in it, as I said in a tweet, is being guided by a higher power, because it looks gorgeous and it reads amazingly. So I'm going to pick up maybe the trades of these and give it a sort of a binge. Batman, Superman, World's Finest at 50. So we have the anniversary issue, no doubt oversized. Yep, up the top there. Cool little cover here. So Mark Waid with art by Dan Mora and Adrian Gutierrez. Okay, this issue features an adventure so big, not only are Robin, Supergirl, Jimmy Olsen, Batgirl, and the rest of the Super Bat family joining in, but Dan Mora makes his return to the series he helped launch. Okay, we'll give that a go. We will give that a go. Now, this, super excited by. Now, I've enjoyed some of Kevin Smith's earlier writing, let's just say, the Green Arrow run, the Spider-Man Black Cat, no matter how notoriously late that was, I enjoyed it. But his recent stuff, I'm sort of a bit cautious by, but this sounds right up his street. Bizarro, Year None. Amazing. Got a Frank Quietly variant cover, which I go drooling over. Okay, and the main cover is Nick Pitara, who I love his work anyway. I think that's Ice Cream Man, right? Does Ice Cream Man? So this sounds like so much fun. It says, this how Bizarro got finished. Kevin Smith and Eric Karasuko team up with visionary artist Nick Pitara to tell the indefinitive origin of beloved backward bad boy when Superman's pal Jimmy Olsen and Clark Kent's boss Perry White leave the planet for a strange adventure in outer space. They discover a dimension that mimics Metropolis and reveres its legendary newspaper as an article of faith. But is the being behind it all a Superman fan, a creature of chaos, or is he no one at all? Don't be a square by Bizarro Year None. Wow, you've got me sold. So far, DC, I'm looking forward to April more than I could possibly imagine here. Moving on, Green Lantern and Green Lantern Corps. I don't read them. Again, not because they're bad books. Well, I don't read them, I don't know. But just because characters never really resonate with me. I get a little taste of Green Lantern here and there, and that's cool, but never enough to sort of make me want to jump in and read it. Same with The Flash. You know, I've read some of The Flash, but Ryan North for me is a no-no. Is an absolute no-no. I mean, his Fantastic Four I hated, and his One World Under Doom for me was a non-event, really. Let's be honest, right? But maybe he's better on The Flash. And I think he kicks off his run an issue or two prior to this. But so, you know what? We'll give it a go. We'll give it a go. There's loads of writers that write one character really well, another character really badly. Maybe this is the one that sort of, I don't know, resonates with me. Okay, because I know there's a lot of Ryan North fans out there, and that's fine. If you don't enjoy the books, great. If you do enjoy the books, great. The only opinion that counts is your own, and we're here to listen to mine because it's my channel. Well, I'm glad that you do listen to my opinion, whether you agree with it or not. Anyway, Emperor Aquaman, again, never been an Aquaman fan. Can't do it. And Jeff Lemire's JSA, I am currently into the first or second arc right now, and I'm actually quite enjoying it. So this may go back on the pull list as a review book too. New Titans, Tate Rumble and Sammy Basri continue their run. Not for me, but here's a big one. One of the greatest stories ever told, introducing the most famous unpublished DC comic of all time. Yes, Swamp Thing. Alan Moore came on. He did a legendary run, and he handpicked Rick Veitich to continue the book, which in itself garnered acclaim. But he never got to finish it, or rather, they never finished it. DC never finished it. But it is back 25 odd years later. We're finally getting the final part of the story. And let's see what's going on. So art is by Michael Zulli and Vince Locke. Cover by Rick himself. So this is over 3 decades, in fact, not 25, 3 decades since the controversy and cancellation. Rick Veitich, I can never pronounce your name, Veitch's legendary lost issues are completed. I think he's actually done there's the cover on the right-hand side. That's the painting I think he finished specifically for this book. After a renowned 2-year run on the series, his grand finale to Swamp Thing was cut short and never to see print. Whispers and leaks hinted at the epic untold saga for years. Now, for the first time, that final story is told. As Swamp Thing is cast back through time, he will come to meet a carpenter who will change the trajectory of his life and the DC universe forever. The origin of Etrigan and Swamp Thing's journey to the beginning of time starts here. So that's going to be a huge one. I'm going to have to really dig out my Swamp Thing books, reread the entire runs from Alan Moore onwards, and catch up with this if I want to review it. But it's called Swamp Thing 1989, issue 1. So jump on board. I know that book is going to be highly sought after by many, many people. So Vertigo. Yes, Vertigo is returning. In fact, I think the Vertigo video I made was my highest viewed video. People were very excited to find out. We've got a whole plethora of books. Kyle Stark, Steve Pugh, Dennis Camp, Stippen Morian, Chris Condon, Jacob Phillips, James Tynion IV brings his Nice House by the Sea book over, and those Nice House books, fantastic. Really, 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 really good. I advise you, read all of it, really. And it's so, so good. So the issue ones aren't out yet. They're about to drop. I'm going to review the entire Vertigo line, give my honest opinion. There are some creators there which I don't rate, but I go into these books with a clean slate. I never go into a book going, well, I don't like this writer, so this book's going to be rubbish. No. That'd be stupid. I'd be missing out on a good book if it's actually good. So we're not going to read any of these synopsises. Go and watch my Vertigo video. I think covers the books that are coming. Might get a bit of information there because I don't want to spoil the issue number ones because they haven't come out yet. And I'm hoping Vertigo, I mean, it's not going to be the Vertigo of the old days. We all know that. Those days are gone. It was time and place and it fit, but it could be bringing out some great books, and that's all that counts. If we get some good books, amazing. So Sirens, Love Hurts, Teenie Howard and Babs Tarr, they're into their little mini-series here with the Gotham Girls. I don't think issue 1's come out yet. See, we're in that stage here with a lot of these things are sort of midway through. There's not many number ones. Same with Marvel. There's a lot of mid-run books out there. So that's pretty much April. But I can see my month being DC heavy. And you know what? In 40 odd years, I keep saying it, of reading comic books, it's never really been a sort of DC leaning, but it really is now, because they are putting out the better books. So Batman and Static Beyond issue 5. Having said that, I tried issue 1 and I found it unreadable. I really couldn't get into it. Really, really sorry. Anyway, Batman, Green Arrow, The Question, Arcadia. This little mini-series bringing these three back together. Gabriel Hardman, really good. I'm enjoying it. There's a couple of questionable things in it, but they don't sort of detract from an interesting story. I'm actually really, really enjoying it. The art looks great and the writing's well done. So we're still looking good. Mad about DC. So Mad are getting a sort of, is that a Hush revealed cover there? Yes, it is. They're bringing back the funny papers. So written and drawn by, quote unquote, the usual gang of comic book creators who needed the extra money. Cover by Dan, and mad about gluten labeling because it should actually be clearer on, or else what's the point? Pan is saying. Variant covers by Simon Bisley, which is good news. I love Simon Bisley. I've met him. He's a nutcase in the best possible way. Absolutely hilarious guy. Beautiful artwork. Loved him since 2000 AD when I was a wee boy. And Chip Zdarsky is doing a variant cover too. So what's it all about? Well, it says Chip Zdarsky is a funny guy. Remember when he made that whole April Fool's gag comic with a rub and smell farts? Oh, wait, that was me. DC Comics EIC, Mary Javins. Chip was the one saying, I'd turn back if I were you, but he couldn't stop me. Editors are a self-destructive lot. Okay, this is going to be madcap. It's going to list all the people involved. Let's see what we got. Matt Fraction, Gal Simone, Scotty Young, many more. Okay, includes mad favourite Sergio Aragones with a mad look at comic book stores, and Guy vs. Spy by Jim Zub and Ramon Perez, and a DC fold-in by Charles Soule and Ryan Brown, plus a slew of mad-style parodies of all DC comics you hold dear. Okay, we'll give it a go. It could be a load of fun. It could be a load of fun. Now, the facsimiles continue. Dark Knight Returns is issue number 3 is getting that for me. I think, not sure if it's in this catalogue, but Dark Knight 4 maybe has some interesting covers to look at too. Maybe it's not in this previews, maybe it's in the next previews catalogue. So Jimmy Olsen gets a reprint. More facsimiles from World's Finest, Detective, Man of Steel number 1. Action Comics, they're great if you want them. Supergirl of the World. So is this the collecting, or is this something new? This has a question marks by the on sale date. Is that a typo, or do they just not know? So written by Mariko Tamaki. Oh, there's a whole slew of people here. What is this? Supergirl, the last daughter of Krypton, has found her adoptive world daunting at times, struggling to find her place in it. So what better way to learn about her new home than travel the globe and discover its many wonders and save some lives in the process? Of course, behold, the Maiden of Might witness the wonders of Earth as 15 countries tell tales that highlight what makes Supergirl one of the most inspiring and powerful superheroes of all. I guess with their movie coming out, we're going to see more books like this. It does sound very interesting. So I guess we've got 15, creators, I guess, from all over the world writing stories connected to their homelands. So that should be a bit of fun. We'll give that a go. Orion, Ngozi Ukazu. What is this? What is this? So this is a sequel, actually, to Barda, I guess. I'm not sure what it is, but we'll find out. So when Prince Orion uncovers his sinister parentage, he must decide for himself if he is destined to be a hero or a villain. The festivals on New Genesis are merry, and the gods who fill its skies are lovers. But Prince Orion, adopted son of the High Father, is none of these things. A brooding, bell-hungry warrior, Orion wonders how he was ever chosen to become an intergalactic prince. Okay, I'm not sure if this is for me. I have no idea really what it's about, but maybe we'll look at it when it pops out. I don't think it's going to be for me. Moving on, Lex Luthor. Okay, we've got some kiddies books here. Diabolical Genius, great for the kids, I guess. Superman's Good Guy Gang, I guess another good one for the kids. And we're on to the trades. Let's see if we've got any interesting hardcovers or new Absolute editions or some special editions, which I love collecting. So Absolute Flash, Absolute Green Lantern, of course, are up to their second volumes. The first Batman trade, if you're not on Matt Fraction's run and Jorge Jimenez run, dive on board if you're not. Superman Action gets a volume 1, and we got Wonder Woman Vol 4, The Island of Mice and Men, the Tom King book, which I am catching up on ASAP. Let's move on. Batman, Green Arrow, The Question, Arcadia, that is finishing collecting all 4 issues. So you can actually either, if you're collecting it, and you haven't got it yet or want to collect it, rather, this is a good chance to jump on board. Cheetah and Cheshire Rob the Watchtower. I like Greg Rucka. I like Nicholas Scott. It started off really good and it just fizzled. So I didn't even finish it. I couldn't finish it. Batman Gotham by Gaslight Absolute Edition. Well, here we go. This is more like me. I love Absolute Editions. So Brian Augustine, Mike Mignola, and Eduardo Barreto. So this is going to collect. What's it going to collect? Okay, so 232 pages. It's those beautiful hardcover oversized slipcases on sale 10th to 6th. $100. Is this just the original Gotham of Gaslight? Let's see what it's got. This edition also includes Augustine's sequel to Gotham by Gaslight, Batman Master of the Future. Okay, so there we go. You get the first 2 books, original scans of Mignola and Russell's ink pages, and much more. Jump on board. That is a definite purchase if you're an Absolute Edition collector. And look at the Mignola cover, one of the greatest artists of all time. I have so much Mignola in here, you think it is a shrine. But the DC Compact Comics, they're getting a little box set, so you get 6 books. That's not bad. $50, excuse me, for 6 books. That's almost 2,000 pages of comic books. You know, they're small little compact editions. They're really, really cool. What do you get? You get All-Star, Superman, Watchmen, Batman on Halloween, DC New Frontier, Batman The Dark Returns, and Kingdom. Wow. 6 of the biggest, best books. That is an absolute brilliant little box set. Make a perfect gift to get someone into comics. So Matthew Rosenberg, again, one of my favorite writers out there. His indie stuff for me has just been an absolute delight. Currently, I'm obsessed and rereading over and over again. We're Taking Everyone Down with Us, 4 Kids, Walk Into a Bank, all that kind of stuff. He's just so good. This, I've been allowing it to stack up so I can binge it, because I know it's sort of like the fifth part of this huge sort of ongoing. But looking at that art, and those names on the covers, I'm definitely going to give it a go. So what else we got? We got more collector editions. Red Sun, another classic. Under the Red Hood, another classic. Gotham Central, one of my favorite, most underrated DC books, I think, of all time. Gotham Central was absolutely brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. You've got 2 amazing writers. You've got Ed Brubaker and Greg Rucka, and one does the night shift, one does the day shift at the Gotham City Police Department. It's brilliant. It's all about the cops, okay, working in sort of under the shadow of the Bat, and how, you know, they've got to solve those crimes before the Bat does, and how all the sort of internal politics works. It is brilliant. I reread it recently, actually, again, and it's still amazing all these years later. So if you haven't read Gotham Central, it's one of my go-to books. So finalists continue, and these are pretty cool too. A lot of people collect them, and they're great. What do we got? We got Supergirl, Die and Let Live. We got Robin, the origin of Robin, Sergeant Rock, and some team-up books. What else we got? So we got the regular collections coming out here, and a few Omnis, Legends, Omni, Detective Comics New 52, Omni Volume 2, people in waiting that to complete their sets. Batman Superman Wars Finest gets a deluxe edition as well. Okay, I guess to celebrate the fact there are like 50-odd issues. Camelot 3000, I didn't expect to see that there. That's a good old Bolland cover there. I think he does the art inside as well. Yeah, he does. So that's being brought back. That's like a medieval science fiction miniseries that came. So Dark Crisis Omnibus. Okay. What else is here? I need something big. Justice League of America, Bronze Age Omnibus, Supergirl, Milestone Compendium, more Supergirl, I guess for the film, lots of Superman, Swamp Thing by Ram V and Mike Perkins, Omni. Again, I'm going to start reading Swamp Thing now. I think I got excited by the fact we've got this, finishing this legendary story. I might do a sort of weekend binge where I read everything. Okay, and that's it. That is it. That is all we have. So let's be honest. It looks like DC has an absolute killer April, like knocking it out of the park April. I'm going to be reviewing so many DC books. It is going to be crazy. I'm very, very excited for April. Excited for DC in general in 2026. To be honest, I keep saying it, they are really overshadowing Marvel by a long way. So there we go. Those are my pulls. Let me know if I've missed anything. Let me know if you want to change my mind about any of these books. I'd be very interested to hear your thoughts. Like the video if you can. Hit subscribe too. And thanks for watching. Hopefully we'll see you soon. Take care now.